If you have money, wealth, or income, you have to pay tax. This is 2.5% of your net income and is called zakat. There is another payment obligation, what is a humanitarian aid, an alms giving, what is called sadaqah. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلف قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل فريضة من الله والله عليم حكيم. Alms are for the poor and the needy and those employed to administer the funds, for those whose hearts have been recently reconciled to truth, for those in bondage and in debt in the cause of Allah, and for the wayfarer. Thus is it ordained by Allah, and Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. I don't want to deal with all the 8 categories, but let me emphasize 2, the bondage and the debt. That means the vulnerable situation, when one is in the spiral and the spiral taking him or her down to the swamp of the light, and he cannot or she cannot avoid it. This situation can be created by your state, when your state is putting on your shoulder more and more obligations and there is no service on its side. But let me don't speak about the state, but let me mention the activity of the different mafias, criminal organizations who are using and exploiting the weak. Even if the slavery, because it is a slavery, was abolished in 1865 in a declaration in the United States. But the slavery exists, and people are using the vulnerable situations. Also, let me enter one subject. It is the prostitution. I don't want to mention the prostitutes who are standing on the street and earning money on their free will in order to get some livelihood to their families. Okay. But I am speaking about those sisters or daughters who are forced to do it massively in a crowd level. And these mafias are catching them, and they are killing their identity, their human existence and being, by giving them drugs and by violating them with force. They earn a lot of money, and of course this money is going to the mafias, to the criminal organizations, and people just doing nothing about it. Of course, we are doing nothing because we are weak and they are strong. And this is our nature. I would not mention that subject if we Muslims were not involved. Have you ever been in Europe, in West Europe? Could you see this kind of quarters of the districts where people go to have an easy life, desires? We are involved. We are involved, and this human trafficking activity is controlled by us in many places, in Germany, in France, in Belgium, in Holland, Netherlands, and a lot of we Muslims, we who are showing our holy face, who are praying 5 times a day, we are saying Inshallah, MashaAllah, Allahu Akbar, Wallah. It's a shame, brother. Don't speak about Islam and don't say a word about the Islam if you are like that. How do you have the right to teach about Islam? First teach yourself and stop that activity. You have the scripture in your hand. Stop yourself. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.